A badass action hero with a tragic backstory has to protect an innocent young child. I have to say, this is pretty fresh. I've never seen anything like this before in the action genre. What's that? Who the fuck is Jason Statham? Tonight's review is on Shogun's Shadow, which was requested for review by one of my subscribers here on YouTube, and is also a Japanese movie with subtitles, so if you don't speak Japanese and you don't like reading subtitles, you might not care for this movie very much. I've already described the storyline of this movie in a nutshell at the beginning of the video, so I'm not going to repeat myself there. And while this story has been done many times before and is pretty standard in the action genre, this time it involves samurai, and it is actually a pretty entertaining movie. First of all, I like the characters in this movie. Aside from your badass main samurai character, there's a whole group of people who are assigned to protect this little boy, and while I don't remember any of their names, I do have a distinct idea of who they are. Each member of the group has a completely different look and a different personality. Easily my favorite character of the team was this bald guy who was essentially like the group clown. There's a scene where he's distracting the bad guys by acting like an idiot, and it's pretty hilarious. Also, the little boy who needs protection in this movie starts off really unlikable. He acts like a complete shithead for a while towards the men who are saving his life, but you know that he's eventually going to turn around. This movie doesn't exactly get points for its unpredictability. But since this is an action movie, is the action well done? Yeah. There's no shaky cam here or unnecessary close-up shots. Every time the action breaks out, you can clearly tell what's going on, and it's very hard-hitting and fun to watch. By far my favorite stylistic choice as far as the action scenes go is during the second half when they start playing this 80s rock and roll music during one of the big battle sequences. And obviously it doesn't fit the time period. This movie takes place sometime during the 1st century, but it just really fits the energy and mood of the scene, and it's just really awesome to watch. Now, aside from the fact that this movie has a very predictable storyline going for it, there are a couple of noticeable flaws. For example, there's a point where somebody sets himself on fire so that he can also set the bad guys on fire, and aside from the fact that he could have very easily set the bad guys ablaze in other ways that didn't involve sacrificing himself painfully, it's very obvious that it's a stunt guy wearing a mask. Also, there's a female character among this samurai group who serves a pretty important part at the end of the movie, but before that, it feels like she's just there to kind of be the damsel in distress, even though they've already got a child to save. During the journey, there are a couple of times where she falls down and almost dies, and somebody has to go save her, and it really doesn't serve the story at all. Girl power. So overall, Shogun's Shadow might have its flaws, it might even be a little cheesy, but if you're looking for a cool and entertaining action movie to watch, this one does come recommended. To my subscriber out there who recommended this movie, I appreciate it, and to everyone else, I hope you all have a good one.